What's up, everybody? It's J2O, keeping it real. FOREX KING back for a weekly Forex forecast for the week of the 3rd to the 8th. And like we do, we check out forexfactory.com and look at the calendar for the week. So for Sunday, December 3rd, nothing too crazy going on, just low impact news affecting certain pairs like AUD, NZD, and JPY. Then we get to Monday, which is going to be a little more volatility. So Monday, you got high impact during London session, affecting the CHF pairs, the CPI, MN. Just be cautious if you're doing scalps around that time. And then you have AIDS in session later on that day. You got the cash rates and RBA rate statements affecting AUD. And then we got Tuesday. There's a lot of news for Euro, mostly low impact throughout London and some of New York session. And then for New York, if you're trading anything with a USD pair, just be cautious for ISM service PMI. There should be definitely high volatility, high impact news around that time, the New York session. And then we get into Wednesday, where it's a mixture of news events affecting like the Euro, GBP, USD, but most of the volatility is going to be coming in during New York session, affecting the USD pairs as well as the Canadian pairs, because you had the BOC rate statements and the overnight rate statement rate. And then you got Thursday, you have a lot of news events, mostly low impact, and there is some, high impact during New York session deals with unemployment claims, because this week is NFP for Friday. So you're gonna see crazy news events happening that's gonna affect the U.S. pairs around New York session around 8:30, because you have the non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, So just be on the lookout. So that's what's happening this week. Some decent news events that's gonna push the market. So let's look at some pairs. Let's look at Euro CHF. So this pair's been on a downtrend. Let me go to higher time frame. Let me go to the daily chart. So concerning daily chart, last week clearly, it dropped. So we're down an interesting area. We're in an area where the market could literally, form some type of support and retrace up before it comes back down, or it could be a continuation where the market, breaks through and continues to break through before it retraces back up and then come back down. So we're on a downtrend. So this pair, I'm just focusing mostly on sells and seeing if it creates support for the retracement for a minor buy up. But overall, this pair is downtrend, so that's why I'm mostly focused on sales. And then you got on this 4-hour chart, New Zealand JPY. So this pair been on the uptrend. Um, Let me go to the daily chart so you can see a bigger picture. Every candle is a day. So last week, it created a minor new high a little bit with the wicks. So this week, I'm still going to be mindful of where we at in the cycle and still look for minor buys, but I am aware that it should be retracing down. So right now, I have one setup where if it comes back down here, I'm gonna look for a buy to see if we're gonna test a high. But if we break down this area, then I know the valid buys are not valid, and I'll look for a sell to go back down. So all depends what happens around this area, around the 78.6 and 100% zone, if we're going to respect it or not. But right now, I'm looking for a minor buy. And for CHF JPY, so this pair's kind of a little messy. Let's go to the daily chart to see a little bigger picture. So this pair been on an uptrend these past few days. It's been kind of consolidating a little bit. So right now, consolidation it's going to eventually be a breakout to the upside or breakout to the downside. Um, Based on daily chart, this was on the uptrend, but where we at in this cycle, It's an area of indecision where we can literally, you know, come back down. Like right here, we come back down and shoot back up to retest the previous wick area. And if we break it, then we know we're going up for the uptrend. But if we don't do that and we just come down and break this area, then I know we're going down to test the previous low, and we can literally have a downtrend where we can literally come back and then shoot down. So this pair, it all depends what happens with structure. If we create a support here, then I feel comfortable to taking a buy up. But if we don't, then I know we're coming back down. So with price action, you just gotta play it by market structure to see what happens. So right now, I'm just seeing what happens. So we can literally go up or down. Right now, as you can see, we're having a lower high, a lower high, and we can literally create one more lower high, or not. We create lower lows and go down for lower lows. So it just depends. So that's just sometimes you just got to go with the flow of the market. And so for this pair right here, let's go to daily chart, New Zealand, USD. So right now on a daily chart, I am trying to wait to see if it comes up here. Because NFP week, there could be a push up to the upside here before it comes back down. So right now, I know we're on the uptrend these past few days. Last week was straight bullish. So right now, I'm still kind of seeing for buy opportunities at this moment. But there's a lot of consolidation, as you can see right here, but it's consolidating upwards. So that's why we're still on the uptrend. So here, I'll just play it by waiting for retracements to see if it comes back down, or I have to redraw my fib entries. But overall, focus on buys for that pair. Okay, so let's look at New Zealand CAD. So this is, let's go to the daily chart to see a bigger picture. So okay, so I know I got a lot of fibs drawn from previous areas. So right now we are, trying to see if we'll create a full retracement. So right now, if it were if it decides to come up here, I'm gonna look for potential sells to see if I could catch a move downwards. Cause this whole move right here was a retracement move for the drop this high to this low. So I'm seeing if we're gonna respect here and come back all the way down. If not, and we break this area of resistance, we're gonna start to go upwards. So right now I'm looking for potential swing moves for next week, depending on if it respects this area of resistance or not. And let's look at Euro New Zealand. So this pair been on a downtrend. If we go to the higher time frame, the daily chart, you can see that the market clearly went down, retraced, created an M structure, and shot down. It's been very bearish, so I do see the sell to be a continuation to create some type of support and retracement. But I'm focusing mostly on sells on this pair. Okay, Euro JPY. Same thing for this pair. This pair been on a downtrend. So like last week been on a downtrend, but I'm focusing on the buy opportunities. So on the daily chart, this is my setup. I'm looking for a buy if it comes down. So this is a pair that I'm gonna just be patient on and wait. So let me see if I could show you guys. So I'm waiting for this pair to come back down. So this could be an NFP move. It could literally come down, you know, the NFP and then shoot up. But ultimately, I'm being patient and waiting for my trade to come to me. So I'm not chasing this or trading these movements. But if you were to trade um this current setup, you have to check the current structure. And right now, as you can see, it's a downtrend. So I would literally have to um redraw my fibs and look for area support and see if it's going to come back down, retrace up, and then look for the sell down. So it all depends on the structure. And let's look at USD JPY. Let's go to the daily time frame. So this pair last week, well, at least Friday, and it was bearish. We broke this area of support for this trend line. So I do see this coming down more. So right now I'm focusing on sells. So I'm gonna redraw my fibs and focus on sells to ride the trade down. And let's look at GPJPY real quick. So this pair has been on an uptrend overall, but last week it started to drop down a little bit for retracement. So right now, either you could be more patient and wait for the move to either respect this area of support or reject off this area of resistance to know which direction. We could literally, come up and respect this, and then we'll come back down. Or you can see it decide to literally, break through. But right now, as you can see, it's kind of been, bearish going down. So I do see it, potentially coming back down for the retracement move. And let's look at one more pair. Let's look at GBP USD. So this again is a pair where I'm waiting for the 78.6 area. So on the daily chart since last week, it was like pretty much bullish. I'm waiting for it to get up here to the 78. I'm waiting for it to, reject and come up here and then do some type of rejection to come back down. So I'm looking for a swing move later on this week. But if you're trading it early this week, as you can see in real time, I caught this move Friday based off the candlestick structure. It's bullish, consolidated, and shot up, and I got out the trade around here. So right now I'm going to see how the market starts off Sunday and Monday. Because we could literally, do a continuation, then create some type of support, and then shoot up. But ultimately, still focusing on bullish movements at this time. I guess I'll do one last one. I'm gonna look at gold for those who trade gold. So gold took off. Gold's been definitely bullish. As you can see, let's go to the weekly to see what's going on for the week. Okay, so gold has been very bullish. It could be due to, the fundamental events such as a war and the different news events last week. But right now, since it's bullish, I'm going to be focusing on just buy opportunities, just waiting for retrace and try to catch the buys back up. So right now, I'm going to wait for it to retrace it could eventually retrace, come back down, and then shoot back up. So just focus on buys this week for gold. And that's pretty much my setups for this week. And overall, definitely just be mindful, especially if you're scalping the news events. Sometimes the news could make your trade go the opposite direction because of the volatility coming in for news events this week, especially during New York session news. So definitely trade what you see, now what you think, and practice good risk management, and you should be okay. Um, if you have any questions, definitely hit me up and let me know. And that's pretty much it. Take care.